Muse in the News with Gordo, brought to us by D&M Leasing and All Pro Foundation Repair. Gordon, welcome to New York.
Thank you for having me here in New York, Craig. I sure do appreciate it. A bunch of scary robberies going on in Dallas in the Northeast Patrol Division. The latest victim attacked Monday night at her home near Garland Road and Buckner Boulevard. All these women, I think there's been 8 of them so far, these robberies. All the women been robbed in their driveway or garage in the evening as they're getting home. And the creepy thing is, the robber will say nothing, and he's just completely silent in a ski mask. He just shows up and stands there and waits for you to figure out that you're supposed to give him your bag.
That's right up your alley.
And why is it right up my alley?
The creepier, the better for you.
Nope. One daughter said she was coming home with her daughter, went out of nowhere. The guy in the ski mask appeared. She said, I felt he wanted my bag.
Wow.
And wanted to get out of there as quickly as possible. So she just hands it to him. And in another one, there were a couple robbers that approached this woman quietly, and they were just standing there in the ski mask. And she said the only thing I could hear them, any noise I heard from them was them saying, shh, shh.
Just like the scene from Platoon?
No, it's
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh,
yeah,
the
that's
German
right.
soldier.
All right, so is this guy going to get a nickname like the Mute Marauder?
I hope not.
Why do you hope not?
It doesn't help catch him.
I think it helps catch him.
No, it doesn't.
It raises awareness.
It does. It raises awareness for silent burglars everywhere.
I don't know. I think it just makes them, in their own sick mind, that much more famous and encourages them more.
Oh.
Look out.
Sorry. And so watch out for that if you're living in that area. Channel 8, I guess, was the one that found the connection between all these and then turned it over to the police. At least that's what they're claiming.
By the way,
What?
That's generic for you to say, watch out for that.
It is very generic. It was just kind of a verbal padding to get me to another sentence there. A little bit. Wendy Davis responding to charges that she is a gold digger who neglected her children. Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger. No, but I ain't seen her messing with no broke. She said, I never gave up custody of my children, never lost custody of my children, and her 2 daughters had to release letters defending their mom. So it's our job as conservative Texans to now attack these children. That's what we need to do, because these children are now part of the vast left-wing conspiracy that are defending. Hey, look, kids, this is Texas, and they're going to hear from conservatives. Maybe they'll hear from conservatives say, hey, look, why are you defending a woman who probably didn't even want you to be born? What do you think about that? Huh?
Yeah,
we need to attack each other. We need to attack this Wendy Davis, right?
You bet.
I don't know if you've noticed, but in the New York papers the last 2 days, there's been a big Wendy Davis story. And it's because she's blonde and attractive, and she tried to hide something from all of us. So it's got a lot of elements where people are just really feeding on it.
Vomit.
Even
it's
up here.
Unbelievable that, and I know P1s. Hey, I hear from P1s every time I talk about her, and I say that, hey, look, every candidate gives you select information from their biographies. They give you a narrative, and they act like, oh, yeah, but she lied. Did she really lie? Did she really lie to us? Did it raise to the level of a substantial, life-altering lie? Did she claim that, was she really rich? Was she a multimillionaire and told us she was poor? Okay, I get it. You got something there. But when it's the amount of months she spent in a trailer park, when it's and the fact that they're trying to say she abandoned her kids when she went to college, and her kids originally stayed up there with her for college, and then it was decided, hey, they should stay back in Texas, and the mom should go back and forth because Texas is where the kids preferred to live. So you take a decision that could be very difficult for a mother, that the children are going to be staying in Texas and you have to travel back and forth, and you need to turn that on the mother and say that, no, she's abandoning her kids. So I'm assuming that she's not talked to her kids in how many years now? Because she abandoned them, right?
Yeah. Didn't want anything to do with them.
And they're saying she's a gold digger because her husband helped pay for her college. So anybody who pools finances in a marriage, one of them's a gold digger.
Yeah.
One of them is a gold digger. Like if, Giorgio, you used some money that your wife made at her job to buy that television, gold digger. If you use that money to go get education that then helped fund your kids' lives, gold digger.
Yeah.
Now, all of that you just said,
I agree with all that.
Yeah. I agree with every bit of it. I just don't think we need to be talking about it. But I think you're exactly right about all of that.
I'm confused. All right, State of the Union address. Last night, missed it. We were at the media party, which we're going to detail and talk about at 8:15. A lot of good stories came out of media day. Media
party.
The media party. So Obama delivered his 5th State of the Union address.
Oh, purge.
And here are the highlights. He said that. Well, first of all, let's listen to a little audio from it. You want to do that?
Sure. That's not it.
All right. Here's President Obama.
There are millions of Americans outside of Washington who are tired of stale political arguments and are moving this country forward. They believe, and I believe, that here in America, our success should depend not on accident of birth, but the strength of our work ethic and the scope of our dreams. That's what drew our forebears here. That's how the daughter of a factory worker is CEO of America's largest automaker. How the son of the barkeep is Speaker of the House. How the son of a single mom can be president of the greatest nation on earth. Well, yay. Opportunity is who we are. And the defining project of our generation must be to restore that promise.
Opportunity is who we are.
Opportunity is who we are. A little bit confusing there. And so the one was the Boehner reference, of course. Boehner's mom, I guess, was a barkeep or father, and so everyone really applauded that. Now at the beginning of his speech, I thought he was kind of swervy. He had the right big inspirational phrases, but he didn't deliver them in the grand style. He was doing a Martin Luther King version of that sentence of, I believe that you should be judged on, whatever, this and not that. So he was kind of doing that, but I think he seemed unsure of himself there.
Is he getting a little more casual in the way he talks?
Yeah, he's cutting off the final consonants and things like that, trying to sound more down home.
Yeah.
And once again, here we are. Style over substance. We're all critiquing the style in which he's talking.
But I think it's interesting because he's obviously doing this on purpose.
Yeah.
So I'm critiquing more not the style, but why is he doing this?
Getting killed on the Wendy Davis, saying she left him right after he made the final payment on the Harvard thing. Is that true? Have we tracked down that timeline?
I think that is true.
I've heard it said, so it must be true, right? So
it's gotta be.
I know that's one of the talking points that we're supposed to say in critique of her, that she divorced him the day after he made the final payment.
I think it was something like that.
So she filed for divorce, or she divorced him?
I think it's filed.
Okay. So not actually divorced, which, once again, if we want to be consistent, we're all about when a divorce becomes final, not when people actually separate, right?
Well, but if you're painting, and I'm not trying to take a side here, I'm just whoever just emailed you about it. I guess their point is she got what she wanted to get, and then made the decision the next day that she didn't want to be with that guy anymore. So it's the filing date.
But if the person
that would be more significant.
But if the person is criticizing her for saying she was 19 and a single mother, and they're going by, no, you don't go by that. You go by when the divorce was finalized. And then in the second case,
don't yell at me.
They're going by
like a foot from
it doesn't matter when it was finalized. It matters when it was they split up.
But I think in that case, I see what they're saying. The decision to leave the guy is not when it's finalized. The decision to leave the guy is when it's filed.
Right.
So I understand their argument there, is all I'm saying.
And
I'm not saying that they're right or wrong.
And, I get their argument, too. Let's just apply it to the other part of it, too, which says, okay, we'll give her the 19-year-old to the 21-year-old deal. We'll give her that one because we want this other thing so badly.
Why do you want to step in the Wendy Davis thing?
Because I think people are being ridiculous on it, and I just wish people would...
You're not going to change them.
Because people want to believe what they want to believe?
Yes.
And they just run on emotion?
Right.
Oh, okay. You're right. No, you are right. NSA surveillance. Obama says he's going to reform the surveillance programs. He says that he wants to once again close Gitmo. He's
been saying that 8 years ago.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't it? He said that climate change is a fact. He said that he called for high-quality pre-K available to every 4-year-old. Sound like awfully big things. Okay, how do we do these? That's what I want to hear about. Representative Randy Weber of Texas caused a stir when he tweeted from the House floor that he was awaiting the Commandant-in-Chief.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And he called Obama a socialist dictator.
Come on.
Oh, my.
Hey, folks.
And within the hour, and you know what? I hated it when people did this to Bush. The way that we just got to, if you hate a president, you just think that everything's allowed. You can call him anything you want to. You can make false claims about someone. You can do the old Nazi comparison deal. Mm-hmm. Remember when people were saying that Bush was Hitler?
Oh, yeah.
And they were justified in doing that, right? No. Everybody got mad at them for doing that, and now the same people are turning around calling Obama the Commandant-in-Chief. Amazing. Also, Obama quipped about Mad Men. He cited Mad Men during his State of the Union address. This is getting kind of idiocracy. He said, it's time to do away with workplace...
With what?
With workplace policies that belong in a Mad Men episode. Isn't that weird? Shouldn't the president not be referencing current pop culture?
He should not watch television for his 4 or 8 years in office outside of the news.
Sports?
No, he shouldn't watch sports.
What about big games?
No, his staff should just brief him on what happened in the Super Bowl. But it is my belief that the president has only 4 to 8 years in office. There's no downtime. There's no vacation. There's no golf. There's no Mad Men. There's no Breaking Bad. There's no Super Bowl. You work on the big stuff.
Work on the big stuff.
And then you retire for 40 years and enjoy your wealth and riches.
And then finally, a story of an opera diva named Amy Herbst. She's suing an army hospital over a botched procedure that has forced her to quit her opera singing career because she can't sing without flatulence.
Oh, no.
When she belts the high notes?
I guess so. She was having her first child, and they had a midwife that performed an episiotomy without telling them, and so there was no physician there. I guess it was a midwife that did this, and so now it says that she experiences something called
fecal urgency
and incontinence.
Oh, there's the high note.
Including periodic leaking of
stool and excessive flatulence.
Oh, God, excessive. And it says here that she has this excessive
flatulence,
and it can't be corrected because basically the division between girl part and Satan portal has somehow been
compromised.
Yeah, been compromised to such a degree.
Man, that's terrible.
And that they can't repair it. It's so bad that they cannot repair it. So for the rest of her life,
couldn't she wear a muffler or something?
What?
Couldn't she wear some sort of muffler down there so where we couldn't hear it if she really belted out a note and it went wrong?
So do you think she's hot?
You know what? I saw a picture of her. She is hot.
Look at this.
Oh, she's beautiful. Oh, she was practicing.
But now you know this about her.
So is that a deal breaker?
So people were going to see her here in New York, and they would hear her fart during the performance?
Like, would it reverberate through the opera house?
I can't believe you're laughing. This is like a horrible botched medical malpractice.
Did she ever get down on stage to add to the resonance of it?
Crippling.
Does she
wear a lav clipped to the back of her belt?
Did she accent the fart with like a little fist pump on stage?
You guys, this is like a woman's tragedy.
I know, it's horrible.
Go up to the male lead with her finger out saying, hey, pull this.
She might as well make the most of it, right?
Right.
If she can't control it.
Yeah, she needs to start comedy opera.
She could star in a new production called The Farter of the Opera.
You guys are some of the most insensitive people I've ever
met. A role tailor-made for her.
The Farter of
Listen to him. Listen to you guys.
That's terrible. I hope she gets better.
The marriage of Fartero.
How do they know they can't correct it?
Fartero, 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 Fartero.
Guys, Catherine Ross is 74.
You bet.
What a great actress.
Hot in her day.
Butch Cassidy, right? She was the female lead in that movie?
Uh-huh. Raindrops keep falling on my head. Did
great
you like
song.
The bicycle scene?
You bet.
Tom Selleck is 69.
The great Magnum P.I. I've been watching some old episodes of Magnum.
Does it hold up?
I got a lot to say about this. We'll do a segment on this maybe next week after the Super Bowl.
Boy, that's really current.
Yeah, but
a review of Magnum P.I.
It's got a lot of sports ties to it, so it fits for our all sports station.
Yeah.
Actress Ann Gillian is 64. Charlie Wilson of the Gap Band, 61.
Oh, man, he's greatness. Love him.
Talk show host Oprah Winfrey
Gave you my money.
is 60.
Gave you my money.
Oprah is 60. That's pretty big one there. And let's see, Nicholas Turturro, the actor, is 52. Ed Burns is 46. The beautiful Heather Graham is 44. Sarah Gilbert, 39. Guitarist Johnny Lang, 33.
Hey, Lang.
Adam Lambert is 32. Giorgio. And Greg Louganis.
Say
Don't
it.
say it. Don't say it.
Do it.
Don't say it. Just let him have a birthday.
He's 54. Why? What would I say?
We got to go. That's Muse 736 on the ticket. Coming up next,
New York time.
George going to be okay tonight?